get things done.
Hey, isn't John Boehner great?
Oh, John Boehner.
I am so glad we have John Boehner.
Terrific.
He is. No, he is. He's terrific.
He's already reaching across the aisle.
He is.
That's what's great about John Boehner.
Yeah.
You know, after putting up this fight for all these years, now you're just going to cave?
No,
Really?
he's got some conditions.
Oh, sure. I know he does.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know
He's got
does.
some conditions. What do you say we throw John Boehner out? I'm just saying. I think the GOP is worthless. I think the GOP is over. I think it's the Whig Party.
Really? I mean, they control the House.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Did I mention that? Did I mention the stats of the economy?
Mm-hmm.
Did we mention inflation? Did we mention corruption? Did we mention Benghazi? Did we mention we have a socialist Marxist in the office and he actually increased his margin?
He did. Not from the beginning of his presidency, but since 2010, yes.
Yeah, I think we kind of screwed it up here.
Yeah, no, should have won. Should have won the presidency.
Should have
won the Senate. Should have won the House.
Might have been, yeah.
Agreed. That's
right. So they got one
opportunity.
that they already had.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But they did get the one.
Oh, okay, good.
And at least there's something to stop this guy from doing whatever he wants, except when he decides to just
do it
by executive order.
What are you gonna? What are they gonna do? You don't have to worry. Congress can't change anything. Oh, what they could do is that we're going to defund it. Well, that would require a budget now, wouldn't it? Wouldn't it require a budget to do some of the things that they could do? And that comes from the House, and that's not going to happen. We haven't had a budget in 3 years. Our country is so out of control, and you're not really seriously going to try to make the case that the Republicans are irrelevant, are you?
You mean relevant? Is that what you're...
Oh, yeah. They're relevant.
No, I mean, well, look, they did not do well. You know, I agreed. It was a disappointing result.
Hold on just a second. I think I need... Pat,
Mm-hmm.
could you define well for me? Because I may have a different... Depends on how you define well.
I mean, if you want to look at it positively, over the past 4 years, you took you were destroyed in the House, and now you have it. The Senate, you were at 40 votes, and now you have 45, at least, maybe 47. The presidency, you lost by 7%, and now you've lost by about 1.8%, or 2%. So, I mean, I'm not happy with that result, but you have cut into it.
You know what's key in all of those sentences?
What?
Lost.
No, not the first one, not the House.
They had that one.
They had that in 2010, not 2008.
Yeah, and that wasn't coming from the GOP. That was despite the GOP.
Right, and I think that's the important thing maybe to look at here is I think the old school GOP, that old Republican Party that won elections the way they always used to win them has gone away in a lot of ways. But that's positive. That's a positive thing to look at. We have changed the construction of the GOP. In many ways, it's not done yet, but
here's what I would like
positive
to. Here's what I'd like to.
I'm trying hard here.
I know you are, and it's so cute. It is so cute. Here's what I'd like to. First of all, John Boehner, you're ridiculous. Karl Rove, how much money did you spend? And you try to convince everybody. No, we've got to go. And I know people who gave lots and lots of money to you, and they all told me, no, Karl's got it down. Karl says we should do this. And I'm like, oh, really? Karl says that? You know what? I'm going to go to Carl's Jr. I'm going to ask the burger people what we should do. And we might have been better off. At least we wouldn't be rumbly in our tumbly today. These guys, they blew it. They absolutely blew it. Now, on our side, I will tell you, it's shocking what the numbers are starting to come out. Catholics, whoa, are you in trouble? When I went over to the Vatican 8 months ago, I said I'm worried about the church in all over the world. They said we're worried about the church. We're worried about America. I said, well, I'm worried about the church in America. We're worried about America. The whole thing. You guys don't know how close you are to collapse. When you look at the church, and not just the Catholic Church, they were right, America. When you look at the Catholic Church, here's one that was specifically targeted. And the Pope came out, and all the bishops came out. And how did the Catholics do? How was that?
45% of voters voted for McCain, Catholic voters. That went up to 48 big percent. So they get the 3%.
We gained a
there.
whopping 3%.
3%.
I mean, every single Catholic in this country should have voted for Mitt Romney. Every single one of them.
I mean, you're targeted. You're targeted. How about this one? Tell me about the rich people. How did rich people vote?
Shockingly, I mean, people wouldn't, of course, tell you this as Democrats, but yes, people make over 100,000 or more did go to Mitt Romney by 10 points. The other part about that, which people aren't talking about, is the middle class. The middle class voted for Mitt Romney by 6%. 6% margin, the middle class. The only demographic that Barack Obama won are the people who make under $50,000 a year.
Staggering surprise.
By far the most likely to be in the quote-unquote 47%. In fact, it was the 41% in the actual exit polls that voted for Barack Obama, 60 to 38.
They know that they can buy votes.
That is their plan, and it worked.
And it's worked.
And Mitt Romney's little secret meeting where he outlined that was exactly what happened. Exactly accurate.
Now, but give me the top 10 zip codes for cash. You know, the richest zip codes. How'd they go? How'd that work out?
The story was that 8 of the top 10 went for Barack Obama.
Yeah, 8 of the top 10 wealthiest counties.
Right. But don't worry, because you were just targeted. I mean, this is the thing that kills me. How about the black vote? That actually increased.
I don't know that it did, actually. I think the less...
No, percentages.
It was 93 to 6. And it was 95 to 4 last time.
Oh.
So big movement for the African-American community away from this president.
The African-American community has never been in worse shape since, I think, the Great Depression.
Oh, you mean as far as economically?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Never.
I mean, terrible.
I mean, it's awful.
This guy's done absolutely nothing for the African-American community.
Nothing.
And 2% of them recognize that, which I'm very happy about.
2%. Not quite as good as the whopping 3% of Catholics.
Yeah, 3% of Catholics.
How about evangelicals?
Evangelicals, by the way, and this is one, certainly from the perspective of Glenn and Pat, was positive. The whole idea that evangelicals would not turn out for a Mormon is completely debunked. That is absolutely not true and did not happen. The Romney's share of evangelical vote increased by 3%.
Over John McCain, in these days, the evangelical vote increased by 3%.
Well, I mean, you could say, again, as I think is going to be the pattern today, as I'm recognizing, you're taking the negative view of that. But remember, we were told before Mitt Romney got the nomination that evangelicals would not support a Mormon for president.
But remember, the evangelical leadership is telling their people, Billy Graham and everybody else, forget about that. End of days. I mean, they're saying we should shave some heads and start checking for some sixes.
The minority vote among evangelicals is the main reason that's so low. Romney took 78% of the vote among white evangelicals, 74% for McCain, so that was up 4% from 2008. The Jewish vote actually had the biggest move, from 21% to 30%. But again, 70% did not vote for Mitt Romney, with this president giving away the main negotiating position of the Jewish state. So 30% shouldn't make you feel wonderful.
Here's the reason why I bring these numbers up is he's fundamentally transformed us. He has fundamentally transformed it. No, he hasn't done it. We've done it ourselves. It's like we're going into a doctor's office and we're like, man, I feel great. And I think I beat this cancer thing. It's working. And the doctor, does the scan and he's like, no, actually, you're getting worse. What? Yeah, no, you made some little progress here and there, but actually the cancer is getting worse. That's kind of what happened. They grew in the youth vote. How? How did that happen? How did they possibly... Hey, dummies in college Have you seen what's happening with your opportunities? Dummies in college, have you seen what's happening to your bill? The ones who should be the most pissed off about the debt are the people who are my daughter's age right now. The ones who are coming up. Our 8-year-olds should kick us in the shins every day we come home. Hey, thanks a lot for the debt, Dad. Boom. I mean, really. And yet they're the ones who are screaming for even more debt. It doesn't make any sense. It shows how detached we are from any kind of reality. And if this isn't enough pain to make you wake up, and with the media left unchecked and the Republicans being the same old story, I mean, where are we headed? Where are we headed? I'll just tell you that we're gonna chat a little bit about the numbers and kind of we're doing an autopsy today. It's autopsy day, and we're gonna look at this body, but then we have to find the way because what we're doing is not working, and I don't mean, and neither is, I mean, well, it is for them because all they're doing is depressing the vote. He didn't have as many people voting for him. Fewer people came out on both sides. And I think that's because they're just disgusted by the whole thing. And I know I am. Boy, am I disgusted by Washington and the people in there. I mean, I look at John Boehner and I'm like, oh, really? Really? Good. Thanks, John. I didn't even want to see him. I don't want to see the president anymore. I don't want to hear it from the president anymore. I'm really kind of like, you know what? I'm going to take care of my school board. I'm going to take care of my mayor. I'm going to take care of my town. And I'm going to, because I can't fight that huge machine. I can't fight it. I can't take anybody talking to me about, and all of the papers are doing, all the, blog sites and everything, including the Blaze. Top 5 candidates for 2016. Who are they? You got to be kidding me. Really?
I do want a Rubio 2016 shirt, though.
Mm-hmm. I actually like that one. I like the top 7 candidates of 2016.
I have to admit, I clicked on it.
I clicked on it.
And by the way, Jeb Bush is not one of them.
Oh,
not.
Please. According to the Blaze thing, is.
Well, I mean, he's one of the people talked about. I'm sure that's their metric.
Hang on.
The Bushes.
Hang on. We're going to come back, and we will talk about this because that's the reason I can't take the 26 Republicans 2016. You want these guys? You want Jeb Bush? No thanks. No thanks. And you know what? That's exactly the kind of candidate they'll give us.
Yes.
Oh, don't Jeb Bush. He's the guy. He's going to bring us all together.